Hey, Stan Deaton with the Georgia Historical Society. Welcome back. Well, as you know, Confederate monuments are in the news again. Lightning rods of controversy. And right here in Georgia, we have the world's largest Confederate monument on the world's largest outcrop of granite. Yes, I'm talking about Stone Mountain. Now, Stone Mountain, as a geological curiosity, has been a place that tourists and other people have gone to for thousands of years. But Stone Mountain really only became a ground zero for controversy at the beginning of the 20th century. In 1915, D.W. Griffith released his controversial film Birth of a Nation, which among other things glorified the Ku Klux Klan of the Reconstruction era. And an Atlanta named William Simmons wanted to reconstitute and give the Klan a rebirth 40 years after its demise. So on Thanksgiving night, 1915, he and 16 other white men trooped up the side of Stone Mountain and set fire to a cross on top of the mountain. He applied for a charter from the state of Georgia and reconstituted the second Ku Klux Klan, which went on to be prominent in American politics throughout the 1920s. Now, the year before that, in 1914, the United Daughters of the Confederacy had called for a giant carving of a Confederate monument on the side of Stone Mountain. 2 years later, in 1916, a group formed the Stone Mountain Confederate Monument Association and hired the noted sculptor Gutzon Borglum, who of course went on to fame as the carver of the presidents on Mount Rushmore. World War I and funding problems delayed the start of it, but in 1923, Borglum got started on what he thought was going to be his masterpiece. Now, he envisioned Robert E. Lee on horseback, followed by about 7 Confederate officers, and an army of Confederate soldiers and Klansmen marching across the side of Stone Mountain in a massive carving. Funding problems and artistic differences led in 1925 to Borglum's firing, or he quit, depending on who you talk to. The Monument Association hired another carver, Augustus Lukeman. He blasted Borglum's work off the mountain and got started again on something a little smaller. But funding problems again came up, and in 1928, everything ground to a halt, and literally nothing happened for about 30 years. But of course, in 1954, the Supreme Court ruled in Brown v. Board of Education that public schools in America needed to be integrated. This, of course, set off massive resistance to the civil rights movement. And the carving on Stone Mountain became of great interest to white Georgians again as a symbol of resistance to the civil rights movement. In 1958, Governor Marvin Griffin oversaw the state's purchase of Stone Mountain for $2 million. And in 1964, the carving was restarted, this time just Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. It was completed in 1970, dedicated with great fanfare, about 10,000 people in attendance, and of course, over the last 50 years, the carving on Stone Mountain has been a lightning rod of controversy as Confederate symbols, monuments, and flags have increasingly come under protest here in this country. Now, you probably know, in 2018, Stacey Abrams, the Democratic gubernatorial nominee, called for the carving to be blasted off the side of the mountain. Nothing has come of that, but again, that call has gone out in the wake of the latest protest over Confederate monuments. What's going to happen? Stay tuned. We'll see. Stay safe. Stay strong. I'm Stan Deaton with the Georgia Historical Society. As always, thank you for watching.